Wow. Okay. I take that we are live, coach. Okay, welcome,
Yes, we
coach. How
are.
are you doing this evening, coach?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. It's been a while.
Great. Yeah, it's been a while, coach, and it's nice to have you back, coach, because yeah, financial wellness and we need that health or financial mentality in our behavior around finances.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, coach. How was the 2022 treating you, coach?
Yo, it's a roller coaster. Like really,
Yeah.
like literally.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I've lost so much in this
Yeah.
year that I there was a point in my life where I thought I'm losing myself, like as the being, you know. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
2022 has been very challenging emotionally and somewhat physically. It hasn't been like literally, it hasn't been a good year for me. I lost my grandmother. That was like the classic one. Is it classic?
Yeah.
I don't know, but le beyivala, like it bikuvala.
Mm.
The losing my grandmother was just a stamp of I am currently going through a lot and I'm in a phase of losing a lot, if I can put it like that.
Okay. Yeah,
But
sure, coach.
we don't stay in places like that forever. We come out
Mm.
alive, we fight, and we
Yeah.
look out to live for another day and try and make better
Mm.
decisions, because things like that happen and there's absolutely nothing you can do. When it's time, it's time. It's just a matter of one accepting and yeah, moving on. But for me, started from March. It's been a huge roller coaster ride, but yeah,
Mm.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
coming back okay,
No,
and
thanks,
yeah,
coach.
I'm okay. Yeah.
No, welcome, coach. I think, coach, most of us we are going through mental challenges. 2022, mentally, it was really a challenging year. I must say, if we really survived it, it means we are bigger than the challenges that we are coming across.
Yep, that is true. That is very much true.
That is true, coach. Now, thank you, coach. Welcome to my channel called Wisdom Revelations Impact, coach. It is nice to have you back. In today's episode, coach, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic that I know that you are passionate about Forex trading, the trading the market in a nutshell, coach. But, coach, for someone who doesn't know Forex trading, can you just break it down, coach? What is Forex in a nutshell?
Oh, in a nutshell, it's an exchange of currencies. I like to say,
Mm.
for someone who doesn't understand exchange of currencies, is when you go to the US, you are
Yeah.
going to use their currency there. So you are in South
Mm-hmm.
Africa, you are using our currency, which is the rand. And then when you go to the
Yes.
US, you're going to need your dollar for you to be able to make purchases. Then
Mm.
you're going to have to exchange your rand to the dollar. So then you
Mm.
have already started to do the forex exchange, because it's an exchange of foreign currencies. Then
Mm.
how we then Tina, as retail traders, make money, because I think that is the most interesting part. The fact that I can
Yeah.
exchange a rand to a dollar, no one really cares. Or can
Mm.
I can exchange a rand to a gold or to whatever. No one really cares. A person like is more
Mm.
interested on how do we then make money in the forex market. We then make
Yeah.
money by the movement of the currencies, either by buying or selling them. So with us
Mm.
as retail traders, we have a certain platform or certain platforms where we perform these exchange of currencies, with the,
Mm.
how do I put it, assumption that either
Mm.
the dollar is going to raise against the rand or it's going to drop against the rand.
Yeah.
Then we do that, and then we then make profit out of that. If I can then again simplify it with the first example that I made of buying your rand with buying your dollar with
Mm.
the rand.
Mm.
If you go to
Yeah.
the US and you get there, the dollar to rand value is 15 rands. Then you will need and you need $1,000. Then you will need 15,000 in South African rands. Then, if it happens that you come back, you don't touch that amount of money, you don't use that 15,000 rand or that $1,000, and then you come back to South Africa, and then when you're coming back to South Africa, the rand is trading at $17,000. When you exchange at 17 rand, when you exchange that dollar to the rands, it's no longer going to be taken with the 15 rand that you initially bought it with. It's going to be sold at 17 rand, which means you're going to be making a 2,000 rand more from the initial amount that you used to buy that particular rand. So that is how we also make money. If we are buying, we buy at a certain price with the hope that we are going to sell at a price that is higher than the price that we bought at. I hope I'm simplifying it enough for someone who just is clueless. But with us, we use certain platforms to perform such transaction. We don't have to travel to the UK, to the Asia, to the America. We do it in a certain platform that is provided by the brokers, which again, it's something that I'm hoping we're going to talk about in the conversation.
Yes, coach. And coach, yeah, I think you gave us a very good a brief there about forex. And in this field of forex, there are so many scammers. For someone who really knew, who like to enter this forex trading, what could be the best way to enter it? Because there are really so many fly-by-nights around.
I would suggest that a person first of all, train yourself, read. There's many reliable sources. There's also unreliable sources. But if you go to, we are so blessed in these days with the fact that information is all over the internet, you know. So start by following people like us. You don't have to pay me. You can start by following people like, you know, the people that are doing proper forex education. If you follow me, for example, you would see in my timeline there is not even one day that I say, give me your money, I'll trade for you and give you all of that. You know.
Yeah.
So start by empowering yourself with just simple knowledge of understanding how it works. Like, I'm not a broker. You need to understand that if you give me money, you don't have guarantee that you are going to get your money back. You don't have guarantee even with the right brokers, but you would have been involved in you losing that money. I don't know if I'm making sense. You know, if you lose the money, it would be your own doing of losing money, not that you gave me money and then it disappeared and I came back to you and said the money has disappeared. But then again, the issue of being scammed, Bongani, is deeper than just what meets the eye. As a financial wellness coach, I'm blessed with knowing how the energy works. You know, as a person, you carry certain energy, and that energy is going to be in flow with the people in the same energy, or with the people who are looking for the same energy as you. So if you are carrying an energy of I want quick money, because that's what these scammers are looking for. They're looking for people who are desperate for money, and your energy is reading desperate. So for someone who is not desperate, they can never be approached by the scammers and they say, hi, we can give you this amount of money, because energy speaks more than words. You know, have you ever seen someone like, they look at you and they just know that you are the relevant person to speak to, because the energy tells them that you are the right person to speak to. So even with the scammers, the scammers are looking for people who are in the desperation energy, and they're going to get them. So even if you empower yourself with knowledge, and you read, and you sign up with the best mentors, and you know, try by all means, if your energy is not in a level, it's not elevated, it's not in a level where it says, I know what I'm doing, I'm willing to work for what I'm doing, and it's in the mindset of, I want money, I want quick money now, then you are exposing yourself to scammers. I also believe that there's also a lot of people currently who are doing proper education in Forex.
Yeah.
It's just that they are not fashionable enough because they tell you the truth. And people don't want to hear the truth. If I say to you, $100 is not going to give you R1,000,000, then I'm not popular to that person.
Yes. Yes.
Then they want someone who's going to say, if you invest R1,000, I'm going to pay you $1,500 in a week, which is it's not possible. It's just not possible. I don't care how good you are in trading. You can never make 150% in a week. If you follow proper traders, they'll tell you that they make 10-15% a month. So you need to know to work on those things and understand how it works. But if you're looking for some quick solutions, just know that chances of you being exposed to being robbed and scammed are very much high until you set your mind to a point that says, I want to work, this is what I want to do, and I want to learn it the proper way. You will definitely find the right people on the internet that are going to help you, take you step by step.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah, Coach, I think we touched a very important aspect about vibration in a way, Coach, because what you vibrate, you attract.
Yes.
I've learned from your course. People must
know me.
That course.
You know me.
It covers everything about the money. I've tried to do my research.
Speaking my language.
Coach, I've covered each and every aspect. No matter what research I do, it reflects me back to your course that I know. This course is powerful.
Thank you.
No, I'm really promoting this course because repeating it in terms of healing, I think it really helps.
I should also put it on advert. I've kind of paused it the whole year, but yeah, it's been those things that I've been talking about. But yeah, I know it's a very powerful course. It's one of those courses that even I get shocked that I was in a space to create such thing with the information that I collected over the years.
Yes, Coach. Hi, Coach. No, but we'll talk about it when we talk about money mindset. I think this one will touch base on that one. But Coach, when someone now wants to really enter this market, Coach, what is the shortest way? I know that when you do something alone, it's gonna take you a long period, but finding a mentor or a coach, I think for me is the shortest way to learn. But what I want to say is, Coach, when someone comes to you for trading, how do you start to introduce them to the platform or the trading world in a bigger picture?
Well, you trade from me. Maybe you can tell the people.
Yeah, I think, Coach, with myself, I was already there, but 20%. I was someone who doesn't really have that basic.
Who doesn't know? So with me, I take you from the basic. Basically, if you follow me, if you've been trained by me, you will know that my course it starts you from what is Forex trading to what is a currency, to what is a currency pair, to then what is the MetaTrader 4, how do you use that, and then to the strategy. So for me, it really accommodates the beginner, the intermediate, and I can't say an expert, because why would an expert come to me to trade, but but it starts from the beginner. I have in my class, like 80% of the people that come to me, they have zero knowledge of what Forex is. But by the time 3 weeks is done, they have clear knowledge of what Forex is, how it works, what do you do, what is buy, what is sell, what is a margin, what is a buy stop, a sell stop, what is a spread. You know, the basic but very important things that I believe as a trader you need to understand. I always say, if a trader doesn't know what a spread is, a person is taking a
Yes.
trade and they're complaining that I opened the trade and it hadn't moved and I was on minus. I'm like, really? That is one of the basic things that you need to understand as a trader, that the brokers, that's where they make their money. And you need to understand that sometimes your take profit is not going to be hit, and you will see ukuthi ikhandlela lifikile laphayana kodwa it was not hit because of the spread.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I feel ukuthi everyone should understand. Everyone should understand the margin. What is a margin? You know, how much do I need to execute this trade, and do I have to use all of this margin and all of that? So it's very important. So with me, I start you from zero knowledge, and by the time we are done, you would understand. And what I then I think I enjoy the most about my training is the support that I give to the mentees. I hold them, unless really a person doesn't want to be held by hand by me. That is, then I can't do anything about that. But I believe that you also are my very much witness that I would do a follow-up on a person to check how are they doing. If I see a person is too quiet, I'll do a follow-up and check how are you doing, how can I support you, even if you are no longer under my contract, because really I believe that there is enough money for everyone in the market. If we can have that just little piece of pie for us, because we can see things are difficult, we're not getting jobs, we're not getting hired, you know, we need, everybody needs that extra income. If you can, even if but in a week make an extra 1,500 rand, which is $100, you can, you know, it can give you a huge relief, you know. So I always try to ensure that when you come to me and you want to train and you want to learn, I am always and open to teach you from scratch, from zero knowledge, and put in that information, you know. So if a person is ready, I always say you must be ready. You must be ready. And before I even start to train you, I will tell you what Forex is. What is it that you need to expect? You know, don't come to me wanting to pay off your debts by next month. No, I'm not the right person for you. I'm not. Now I'm going to train you and teach you, because like any other skill, it takes time, it takes practice, which is people, they overlook that part of wanting to practice and understand what is going on in the markets, understanding the fundamentals. What is it that is moving the markets? Why is the market moving? At what time is the market moving? And all of those things. So if you're going to come to me and looking for solutions next month, no, go to someone else. I don't have that magic. I just provide education and something that is going to last you and help you over the period of time.
Coach, you know, Coach, you actually covered my next question. Was I was saying, how do you manage your clients' expectations? Because I know that the YouTube videos that are out there, it's like we can take $10 to $1,000 or $1,000 to $1 million. So people will be coming to you, of course, with that expectations that no, by next week I should be rich.
No. If it was that easy, everybody else who is involved in the market would be rich, you know, overnight. The truth is, Forex is not difficult. The emotional intelligence and the mindset and the, you know, those are the things that mess us up. And if you go in with a not fine-tuned emotional intelligence, you're not going to make it. It doesn't matter how much you understand the market, because the market will move against you by few pips, and you're going to panic, and then you're going to close, and then you're going to take another trade, and then you end up over trading. So for me, the first thing to manage the expectations is to get the expectation from you, because if then I can see that I can meet this, then we're good to go. But if you're giving me something that I see I cannot be able to deliver, like for example, I want to do this, I want to make money, I need, I remember last year there was a lady who wanted to give me her 50,000 rand and trade for her. That was even before she signed up, and I was like, no, I can't do that. Then it means I'm not the right person for you. Find someone who can do that for you. And I had to warn her about being scammed, because there was something that she needed to pay urgently, and she believed that the 50K that she had was going to magically grow to 500,000. I was like, chances are you're going to lose this 50,000 rand with the rate that you are going. So I suggest that you find other ways of making the money that you want to make before finding yourself losing this money. Obviously, when someone is still new and they've been exposed to all these, people that are speaking miracles over Forex, they would think, I don't know how to trade. I don't know what I'm talking about. But honestly, I'm not about what other people think. I'm about when a person comes to me, they get serviced, they get realistic, and then they get to learn and make the money over the period of time.
No, thanks, Coach. Thanks, Coach. So, Coach, another thing when finding a mentor, we've got the scalpers, the position traders, the swing traders. So, what kind of a trader are you?
I'm an intraday trader. I believe in trading my trades, closing my trades before the end of the day, because fundamentals have taught me that anything can happen. Trump can say anything, and it doesn't matter what technicals were saying, they can go either way, So I try as much as I can to ensure that the trades that were running during the day are closed. If not closed by TP or stop loss, they then are managed in terms of me reducing the lot size, and if it's running like in a very small lot overnight. Again, I don't like incurring unnecessary minus of a swap when all of that. So when I analyze within the period where the market, I believe that the market is going to move and get to this area within this day. Yeah, that's how I trade. I'm an intraday trader. Scalping, I don't like it. It gives palpitations. You find yourself looking at 1 minute. Imagine 1 minute. 1 minute time frame can mess your mind like I don't know what. 5 minute time frame can mess your mind like I don't know what. Swing traders, again, I believe those people, they need to have you need to have a proper a really proper capital, because for example, let's look at gold. Gold can retrace 300 pips and still go the direction you are expecting, So for you to be a swing trader, and currently the markets are like that, even with the GU, the GBP USD, it can be selling on a long term, but buy for about 300 pips, then go further down. Now, unless really you are trading a multi-million-dollar account, then you can be able to hold that long. So for me, I believe in intraday trading. There's people who also trade 5 minutes, which are scalpers. If you are going to be a scalper, I don't know how to say this. If you're going to be a scalper, be a reasonable scalper. Like don't trade 1 minute. At least start 5 minutes, 15 minutes if you're going to be a scalper. Because 1 minute is going to mess you up. You look at 1 minute and think the candle is too long, and then next thing when you go to a lower time frame, it's just moved by maybe like 5-10 pips, So
Yeah, I know it's true, Coach. I think we lead me to my next question about strategy. We've got a trend follower. We've got what? Breakout and retest. You've got the continuation. So what strategies are you using?
I like following a trend. I always say
Okay.
if I am trading against the trend, really it's got to be really like I've got to see where the market is heading.
Mm.
Either way, anyway, whatever I'm trading, I've got to see where the market is trading is going. I've got to be like, is pa?
Mm.
I've got to be
Yeah.
like that. This is where it's going to go. And I've got to see what's going to invalidate this setup. So if I
Mm.
am breaking it, if I'm saying a breakout, if it then close above a certain area, then I would say we are going
Yeah.
to continue. If we're going to break and come back and close below that area, I've got to then wait for another confirmation to say, are we continuing going up or are we going to go down? How I'm going to see if we're going to go down by if we break the low of the previous candle. If like the candle
Mm.
goes up and then it comes and closes below the area and then pushes further down, I can't just say we are selling just because it's pushing further down, but it's got to break the
Yes.
low of the previous candle. Then that would be like
Yeah.
my first confirmation that we are selling. I'm also in the EMAs, the exponential moving averages. I like them
Yeah.
for new traders. For new traders,
Mm.
because
Mm.
a new
Okay.
trader, what I've just explained now sounds very
Mm.
Greek to them. You know,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
yeah, a new trader is going to be so confused with, but it breakile, it gets very confusing for them. So in the process
Mm.
of teaching, if you remember well with you, when I was doing training with you, I was doing that, the potential continuation and then the
Mm.
zones.
Mm.
That was the only
Mm.
thing that I was doing. But as I
Yeah.
noticed, I realized that uh, new clients, they get confused, they don't see the zone, they can't imagine the future, because in trading it's a matter of imagining and envisioning what is potentially going to happen. So if you see a
Yeah.
potential continuation, it forms as a one opposite candle. So for someone who is
Mm.
new,
Mm.
they would look at this opposite candle and think that the trend is changing,
Yes.
now. And
Yes.
most of the time, the potential continuation candles, they happen at zones, you know
Mm.
around the
Mm.
zone.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
then introduced
Mm.
the exponential moving averages. I think it's 9 and 21, I can't remember. Again, they work very well for a shorter time frame. I then add a
Mm.
50 for
Yeah.
for for a more reliable trend. Basically,
Mm.
when the AMA 50 will just tell you if we are buying or if we are selling or if we are consolidating.
Mm.
So it
Yeah.
then made life so easy for me to say, when the market is above the EMAs, it means the trend is buying. When the market is below the EMAs,
Yes.
it means it's selling.
Yes.
Because when I was explaining the market structures, you look at higher highs and higher lows, they get
Hello.
so confused.
And lower lows. That's what I'm talking
And the
about.
lower lows, and people like, yo, the language in this thing. Now the life is so easy with, if we go up, if the market is buying, the moving averages are going to be below. Then we will then look for entry
Yes.
opportunities. How are you going to look for an entry opportunity? Then I explain that.
Yeah.
If the market is moving in between those areas,
Mm.
the moving averages, that market is consolidating. It's not worth the risk because it hasn't given you the direction.
Mm.
So it makes life so easy for me to introduce to the newbies. But because I've got a 1-year contract, as I then continue, I then start to introduce because what I do is I do monthly reviews with the new people. As then I
Mm.
see a person is getting the idea of the EMAs, then I start to introduce the what you call the breakout strategy, the one that I usually share with you guys,
Mm.
and
Mm.
the potential continuation strategy, and
Mm.
the
Mm.
one that does not have any indicators. I think I
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
one. It makes my life so easy, because sometimes indicators can be lacking. I tell them
Yes, yes.
that they can
Mm.
be lagging, but they are a good what you call confluence
Yeah,
to
confluence,
check.
that's another way. Yes, confluence.
Yeah, they are a good confluence to like
Yeah.
kind of check. Yes, yes, yes. So that
Mm.
those are my
I
strategies basically.
no, thanks, coach. You know, with moving average, when I did not understand the support and the resistance, when you find that
Yes.
it has crossed, maybe the support is down there, I'll think, no,
Mm.
it's going to make a U-turn here. Can't you? No, no, no. It's going to retest that support into a resistance. Then it goes down.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it will hit my stop. And then I'll be frustrated because they
But
are,
when you
as you say, that they
understand,
are lagging. So,
yeah, they are lacking, but again in that when you understand what is going to make this trade invalid, I always say that, you know,
mm,
the simplest thing when you analyze is to say, if this trade is for me, this is what it's going to do. If it's against me,
mm,
this is then what it's going to do. Then you let go.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yes, sometimes
mm,
there's pairs like your GU, your gold, that's just going to just
mm,
go and look like it's going against you, and then come back with a
mm,
huge week, you know.
yes,
But like I say, it's
yes,
part of the game. It's really if there's someone who said once said, if you don't want to take losses, don't trade.
mm,
Just stay away
yeah,
from trading if you're not going to want to take
yeah,
trades at some point. So yeah, it's part of the journey. It doesn't always
mm,
happen, but you must always you know, expect that. And there's an option of giving you know, your trade a second chance. You can say, okay, this thing was just collecting my stop loss. Don't get
mm,
emotionally attached to that loss. You can see
mm,
the setup is still the same. The setup is still there. Take another
mm,
trade. Why not? Unless really
yeah,
the loss that you have taken is something that is above your risk management. If you had said, I don't want to lose more than 2% a
mm,
day, and
yeah,
you've hit your 2% or your 2%, then it will make sense for you to not trade because you are avoiding the emotional damage that it might cause to you. Because sometimes you will take a trade, it goes to a loss, you close again, it comes back to the direction and all of that.
mm,
So if you are going to say, rather close
yeah,
and then come back the following day. Yeah, so
mm.
that's how it is.
You know, someone, coach. And coach, when you talk about emotions, I've realized that when you trade a demo and a live account, they are
Hmm.
two different things. Because in
Very.
demo, I'm not attached. When I
Mm-hmm.
lose, I don't lose. And in
Mm-hmm.
demo, I realize that I make more money in demo because I'm not really attached. I take a trade, then I forget. When it hit my
Yes.
profit, then I see the please. But when I go that
Mm.
other side, you may find that I take short profits but bigger
Very big
losses.
losses. A recipe for
Yeah.
disaster.
Yes, coach. Yes, coach. So, coach,
A
I want
recipe.
to ask you, say, yeah.
Ask the question.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask so, coach, how long one should stay on a demo account?
As short as possible. As long as you get the skill
Mm,
and you get the understanding of what are you doing, or the demo is basically for you to make mistakes, to say, I thought I was buying but I sold. It's for you to
mm,
get the understanding of the platform. Then as soon as you
yeah.
get the understanding of the platform, don't get comfortable on the demo, because you still have a whole new learning to get on your
Mm,
live account. When I take people in training, I train them the first month, and then the second month I allow them to train and get used to the demo, or to the platform for the
mm,
first month. Then on the third month, I recommend funding, even if it's $100, just to
mm,
not to say we're going to make big money out of this, but to get to an understanding and to the emotional training part of it. Because emotional training
mm,
alone It takes its own time. Remember, you've got your own money issues. Other than the trading issues, you've got your
Mm.
own money
Yeah.
traumas. You've got your own reaction
Yes.
towards money. Your childhood
Mm.
traumas and all of that. Now you're going to get to this
Mm.
thing again, that a slight move
Mm.
against you is going to just traumatize you, and you feel like you are losing
Mm.
everything, and you feel like all kinds of
Mm.
negativity. Then you need someone. When you are starting with a live account, you need someone who is constantly going to tell
Mm.
you, no, you're not doing bad. No, this is part of the game. This is how it works. Try
Mm.
doing this. Lower
Mm.
your lot size. What is it that you could have done
Mm.
better? You need that emotional support, because if you don't, um and here is another sad truth: the first $100 that you fund with,
Mm.
chances
Mm.
are you are going to lose that amount.
That's the honest truth.
You are going to lose that $100, maybe the second
Uh,
and the third.
yeah.
You are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what then a coach does, they then help you with making you understand that I also have been through this. I only got
Mm.
to be better because I had to manage my emotions. I had to stick to my
Yes.
rules. I had to follow my plan. And
Mm.
I was not
Mm.
expecting this account to give me anything anytime soon. So you
Mm.
need a
Mm.
coach for such thing. Like it trading, iyayidinga immoral support if you want to make it.
Big time. Mm. Mm. Big
So
time.
if you're
Yeah.
going to blow your first $100, ubesukhala engathi I don't know what happened, go, just stop. Just stop. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
part of the
know.
game.
It's
It's part
true.
of the journey. And I tell you this, like even in any market, even in the
Mm.
crypto space, the people who've
Yes.
made millions in the crypto space, they have
Mm.
coins that they bought and they thought they were going to materialize, and they didn't do anything, and they lost that money.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's
Very
a
true.
matter of
Mm.
how much do you want this thing. How much do you want it?
How bad
How
you
much do
want
you
it?
want? How bad do you want
Yeah.
to see it succeed? And also how
Yes.
passionate you
Yes.
are about it. I always say that
Mm.
trading needs passion about the process, not about the money. I love money. I love
Yes.
money. I'm not apologetic about that. But I am also very much passionate about the process of trading.
Yeah.
Like trading makes me happy. Even if I lose, like
Yes.
I get excited. It does that thing. I don't know what it does, but it just does that thing that
Uh,
drives me to say, what is it that I could have done better? You know what? I
mm.
always want to learn out
Mm.
of it. So you want to be passionate about it and love it. You know, then
Yeah.
whatever then happens, it's going to then drive you through the right path.
Mm. 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 I thank you, coach. So
Mm.
people, when someone goes live now on a live account, which pair are they starting with?
Major currency pairs. You can't go on a gold as a new trader. It's going to cripple you. You can't go to indices as a new trader. They are going to cripple you. Why am I saying that? They're very heavy. Number one, gold is very heavy. It moves nicely when it moves to your direction, but when it moves against you, yes, yes. And the sad part, I'll just make an example. On Friday, not even, yeah, yesterday, I took a sell on gold, and I can't remember what price it was. And my stop loss was like reasonable, 50 pips. And if you know me, my stop loss is 30 pips. I don't go above 30 pips. But because I understand, I've lost to Bongani, but I'll continue. But because I understand gold, I was like, oh, okay. I am going to, or probably it's load shedding. But because I understand gold, I was like, oh, okay, I am going to place my stop loss on what? On 50 pips. Then gold hit my stop loss. It hit my stop loss, and then it moved down like it's nobody's business. So as a new trader, I then suggest that you trade one major currency pairs, which is your Euro USD, GBP USD, USD CAD, USD JPY, NZD USD. Try to stay away from the USD CHF. I don't love or don't like CHF pairs for reasons like the CHF. For me, it's really like not really reliable. It's not stable and all of that. So, and then the AUD USD. Try to stick to those pairs. Again, minimize your pairs to as much as possible if you can. Okay. I don't know, guys, what's going on here. I've been
Yeah,
invited
but
by
it's back
women.
now. I don't know what's going on. Yes, coach.
I
It seems you're
continued
answering
to
someone there.
I continue to speak either way. Okay. So I
Okay.
was still, yeah, I was still saying, trade major currency pairs: your GBP USD, Euro USD, USD CAD, USD JPY, AUD USD, NZD USD. I personally don't like
Mm,
USD CHF. I just don't like CHF pairs. There is,
mm,
I can't remember, there was that one year where the CHF pairs, they just did, I don't know what, they dropped like I don't know what. And ever since then, I don't know. It's a personal preference. Then I was also then saying, if you then can minimize your trades, your pairs to at least 2 or 3. Why are you doing that? You want to study the move of the pairs and understand them, because not all strategies work the same in all pairs. I don't know if I'm making sense. Are you
mm.
still with me, Bongan?
Yes. Yes, I'm still
Yes.
with you.
Okay. So not all strategies work the same in all pairs. If you are like, for
Mm,
example, trading the moving average, the strategy that I explained for the
yeah.
moving averages, some pairs will like break the EMA 50, and then you think, okay, we are now changing, we now are moving downwards or we're moving upwards. Then suddenly it
Mm,
moves up, you know. So you
yeah.
need, when you are minimizing then to 3 currency pairs, you are making yourself an expert to those pairs, to a point
Mm,
that someone will be like, I know gold is going to 1670, or I know gold is going to
mm,
1655. They just know when it reaches this
mm,
area, this is where it's heading. Why? Because they've studied the pair enough for them
mm,
to
mm,
for them to understand it, you know. Or if you are trading a GBP JPY, another very much popular pair, and it's not heavy, it's just that it's volatile. It's very
mm,
volatile, the
mm,
GBP JPY. So if you're going to trade
mm.
that, again, study it. How does it move? When does it move? Oh, that is very important. Very important.
Yes.
So if you are going to want to trade, for example, AUD JPY during the day, the session for those pairs, both of them, is closed. So who are you
Mm,
expecting
mm.
to move this pair? The only reason
Yeah.
it's moving is because maybe someone is buying a GBP AUD, or you know, but it's
Mm,
not because there's volume in those pairs. So you
mm,
want to understand that, when is this pair moving, at what time, why is it
mm,
moving again, um
mm,
you know, the fundamentals behind it, the when is the
mm,
volume coming in for this pair. Now
mm,
I can tell you, like, for free, the GBP USD, you'll
mm,
find the move, you know, during the pre-London session, the London session, and the New York session. I cannot be
mm,
at 9 o'clock looking for 9 in the evening looking for an entry on the GBP USD. What am I doing? Because
mm,
the
mm,
sessions are closed. So for me,
mm,
I want to see the move for those pairs during the day, the pre-London session, the London session, and the New York session. I will see the move in the indices, the US indices, during the New York Stock Exchange Open. So those are the times where I will see the move. That's where the volume is at. The chances of me being stuck in a trade for a very long time because I took the trade during the time where there was no volume and the market was consolidating, and I get frustrated. The market goes to minus, then comes back to zero, then it goes to minus, then it comes back to zero. And now I'm like, hey, let me rather take this zero, you know, and yet I've invested so much energy in it. So yeah, choose pairs.
Thanks, Coach.
Also, again, choose pairs that speak to you. I'm sorry, I'm making this long. I'm making this long. Choose pairs that speak to you. When you feel that the pair doesn't speak to you, the pair will not speak to you. And even if it was going to pay you, you know, mindset, again, it comes back to the mindset thing. It will start by taking your loss and then move your direction. Why? Even with you, your mind, your energy in it, you were just doing it, just otherwise you don't like this pair. Why are you trading something that you don't like? Why are you involving yourself with something that you don't like and expect it to love you back? You know, mindset.
You must fall in love with the pairs.
Yep. I trade pairs that I truly like, enjoy trading, and even if they mess me up mentally, even if they do, I was before you were cut off. I was making an example that Friday I traded gold, placed a stop loss on 50 pips, but it hit my 50 pip stop loss, and then it moved about 100 pips to the direction.
Wow.
And I was already out. But because I love it, I was like, oh, okay, you did your own thing. You're going to pay me back next week, you know. You're going to bring back my money next week. And I moved on, you know. So, yeah.
Good. And we're coming now to trading psychology. I caught myself, I was hard on myself. I think when it does that, I call myself with names that I'm even shocked. That, oh, my God, this thing is taking my money.
But you don't have control. You don't have control of what the market does. I think the mistake we make, I was even saying the other day that I've been wanting to give the support that I give you guys now for a very long time. But the fear of being judged by you, she gave us an idea and it didn't play out, was kind of like taking over, which I don't want to expose myself. Until I was like, but I'm not exposing myself. I tell these people when I train them, Uguti, this strategy is not 100%. It's going to at some point hit a loss. You know, it's part of the game. How you then control the loss that you take is totally up to you, because someone once said that never let a profitable trader turn into a profitable trade turn into a loss. So you need to then make a rule of saying, once I get to a certain number of pips in profit, I protect that and make this trade a risk-free trade. You know this is what it's part of the trading psychology. It's part of the trading psychology that says, when I take a trade, I am risking $50. Fine. I'm risking $50. I'm taking this trade. My risk is $50. The trade moves 20 pips to the direction, which is now $20. Now, I am no longer going to risk $50. I'm going to risk 30, right? I'm adjusting my stop loss by the 50 pips. Then if it moves further again, then my trade moves to zero and just maybe 2-3 pips just to accommodate the spread. Why am I doing that? I'm making now a trade, a risk-free trade. Now, what psychology is needed, because I've made the trade a risk-free trade. So initially, when I was taking this trade, I was like, I'm either going to lose $50 or I'm either going to make a certain amount of money, $100. I'm making an example. Then the trade moves the direction 50% to target. And then it comes back and hits a stop loss. Where were you?
Eish.
What were you doing?
Eish.
Your trade goes to 50 plus, and then
Yo.
it reverses to a point where it takes you out on a minus. Then you are the
Coach,
one
yeah.
who is bewitching yourself.
Yeah.
Are you going to
No,
blame the market? Are you going to,
no.
why? You know,
Sure.
so it's things like
Yeah.
that. Again, having a trading plan. What is your plan?
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
simple. My plan, I take 3-4 trades a day, not more than 5.
Mm.
And I've got accounts where I experiment. Then I've got an account where
Mm.
that I like seriously, that I really take seriously because it is the main provider. You know,
Mm.
other accounts I test this and that and that and that. But I've got a main
Mm.
account where I seriously trade. So in that account,
Mm.
I'm very strict on rules. You know, I don't take more
Mm.
than these number of trades and all of that. So again, you need to understand, I am taking X number of trades per
Mm.
day. I am having this target, 2%, 3% target, 1% target, 0.5% target. Really depends on
Mm.
you, whatever that you are targeting as profit. I am not losing more than 2%, 1% per day
Mm. Mm.
on my account. Then, so you are also coming to the psychology. It's going to help you with the psychology. Everything that I'm sharing now is going to help you with the
Yeah.
psychology.
Yes.
Then you hit your target on that day. Your target is 2%,
Mm.
you make your 2% on that day. Then why are you
Mm.
still trading? You've
Yeah.
met your target.
Stop
Now,
trading.
why are you
Yes.
emotionally investing? Or do you want to double the account? Do you want to make 100% today? Tomorrow the
Mm.
forex market is going to open up until Friday, up until that. Why are you then forcing things?
Mm.
Number one. Number two,
Yeah.
you hit your 1% loss for the day. Why are you trying to recover within the same day? Because chances are
Mm.
you are already emotionally messed up, right?
Yes. Yes.
You are already emotionally
Mm.
messed
Mm.
up. So the
Mm.
decision that you are now taking is no longer in the right space.
Mm. Mm.
It's
Mm.
an
That's
emotional
true.
decision, and you don't want to take an
Mm.
emotional decision when you are trading,
Mm.
right? You've taken 5
Mm.
trades, you haven't hit your target. Maybe you haven't hit your 5% target, you haven't hit your 2% loss, but you have taken
Yeah.
5 trades. Why are you
Mm.
taking the 6th one? Because now that's no longer part of
Mm.
your rule. You know, again,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you're seeing a candle that is moving fast, but your setup is not there. Why are you executing?
Mm.
Because
Mm.
now I always say never make a decision based on a current candle.
Yes, it's
I know
true.
other people call it an impulse entry. I don't believe in impulse entries because I believe, Uguti, you are taking that trade with the mindset that says ngiyashiyeka. And in the market, whenever you have that mindset,
Mm.
you're good, I'm being left behind, the fear of missing out, that's a recipe for
Yes.
disaster. First of all,
Mm.
you are going to execute a trade. Then when you're done executing a trade, chances are, I'm saying this because I've been through it, you execute a trade because you fear the missing out of the candle. Then you look
Mm.
at the
Mm.
candle is maybe 100 pip move candle, and you look at at a place where you can, at a place that says, if this trade goes against me, this is where I should place the stop loss. And then you look at and you see Guti risk
Mm.
is 60-70% of your account. You know, is it
Sure.
worth it? It's no longer worth it. And then
Mm.
the market
Mm.
goes against you. You don't know what to do. You're now trading with hope because there was no logic. You start to analyze. If you were
Mm.
trading a 1 hour, you go to 4 hours
Mm.
just to make yourself feel better. I on a longer term, this market, this is what it's going
Yes,
to do.
yes.
You know, and you end up not knowing what you are doing. You go to daily and then weekly, but you are not a weekly
Yeah.
time frame trader. You are a 30-minute or 1 hour time frame trader. Why are you now going to a longer time frame? You are trying to condition
Mm.
your mind, Uguti, you are right,
Yeah.
instead of accepting, Uguti, this was an emotional decision, let me exit
Mm.
before it drains me.
Hi, I'm in coach. And personal, I've also learned that If FOMO, it makes you to throw out your trading plan. It's like you're
Mm-hmm.
no longer
Yes.
considering what the
Yes.
plan is saying. It's about
Mm,
you winning
mm,
or losing right now. And most of the
mm-hmm.
time, we lose big time.
Yes, usually like a FOMO, it results in huge losses, like really huge
Hmm.
losses. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, it's true, coach. And coach, in mental state when we trade, how do we really train our mind? Because really there's so many emotions going through our minds, and they also touch base on the relationship with money that we have, that negative relationship with money, our belief system with money.
Okay, for me, I meditate. I'm a believer of meditation. I believe that it regulates my mind, it calms me down, and yeah, it makes me feel comfortable, if I can put it like that.
Mm.
So I
Okay.
would just sit and meditate, play, and planning for the day. This is what I'm going to do, A, B, and C. Other people have morning routines. I can't really say I have a morning routine. I would be lying. I
Mm.
try, but I'm not that organized. Some days I don't feel like working out, so I can't say I've got it. There's days where I say, okay, this is what I want to do, but I don't have like a standard morning routine as I should.
Yeah.
I should, I believe I should,
Okay.
but yeah, sometimes I have it, sometimes I'm like, no. But one thing for sure, I will meditate on a daily basis. And I detach on a trade as soon as I
Mm.
execute. As soon as I press buy or sell, put in a
Yeah.
stop loss, put in a take profit, I detach on
Mm.
that, because the only control I had was when I executed. When
Mm.
I was
Mm.
pressing
Mm.
sell or pressing buy,
Mm.
that was the end of my control. The control of me placing a stop loss and the take profit, that was the end of my control. What then the market does, how it moves,
Mm.
I don't control that. I
Yeah. Yeah.
anticipate the direction of the market. You know, I
Mm. Mm.
anticipate the direction of the market. That then brings me to knowing that I have done what I should or what I wanted to do.
Mm.
It then
Mm.
helps me in the terms of emotional state of what else could I have done. You know,
Mm.
if
Mm.
I am ticking all the boxes of, so my trading plan says the market in the morning, before the pre-London or whatever, but during certain times, the market is
Mm.
going to consolidate. Then
Mm.
it will break and give me the direction. I'll wait for
Mm.
the certain time frame candle to close. Then I'll see
Mm.
how it has closed, because how the candle
Mm.
closes again, it gives me a direction. So if it closes with a wick, with a smaller nyana wick, I want
Mm.
the next hour candle to kind of give me a wick that is almost the body of the candle or half the size of the body of the candle. Then it
Mm.
and then I would execute. I would sell or I would buy. If the market then
Mm.
closed below that certain area, so that is my strategy. That is my trading strategy. If then the
Mm.
area, the candle then closes below that certain area, I would wait for it to then say. Remember when I started, I said, if it does this, this is what I'm going to do. If it does this, this is what I'm
Yes.
going to do. So if it then gives me
Yes.
another option of, if it does this, this is what I'm going to do, I then execute on that. So obviously the market
Mm.
must give me a certain setup. That is my trading
Mm.
strategy. Now, how I then take it mentally is, if I had executed against my trading strategy, that's then
Mm.
where I am emotionally damaging myself, you know,
Mm.
because I'm like, why am I doing something that I said I was not going to do, or that is not part of the plan?
Mm.
Yes, then
Mm.
it then comes back to me working on that, because the actions that I've just done, they are kind of indicating something. We have
Mm.
we have some limiting beliefs that we have, that sometimes make us to unintentionally self-sabotage.
Yes.
I
Yes,
always say
that's
we
true.
never, never ever in nanini, we nobody wakes up and be like, today I'm just sabotaging myself. No one does that. Like,
Mm,
who wakes up
mm,
and be like, today the only thing I'm going to do is to sabotage? No. But
mm.
you do it unintentionally because you've got internal beliefs about
Yeah.
either success, money, or anything like that. So
Mm,
the 21-day online course that you also did, it touch
mm,
bases on that. What is it that you
mm,
believe
mm,
about money?
mm,
Your money vibration. Where are you at
mm,
with the money? What is it,
mm,
that you can do to move from this vibration to the money vibration? It
mm,
gives you the meditations and all of that. So you
mm,
need to understand where you are at. And when you start to see what is it that is sabotaging you, like when you reach a certain point of your money. Let me make an
mm,
example. There was a time where my account would just not pass a certain amount. It was just
mm,
there. And you know what I did? I was like, okay, when I reach this amount, I do a withdrawal. Now,
mm,
instead of me taking the money back to the markets, let me take the
mm.
money to my bank account.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'm making sense. Because if I reach
Yes.
this certain amount of money, I'm definitely going to lose. I see it.
Yeah.
I want to. I
Yes.
definitely. I was like, okay, let me play with this set point that I'm at until I
Mm,
condition
mm,
myself to go above this set point.
mm,
So instead of
mm,
me, when I get to this amount of money, let me take the money back to the account. Let me take the money
mm,
back to the account. Then, because you want
mm,
to grow as a person, you want to grow. Then
mm,
instead, when I then got to that amount of money, this other time, I was like, let me
mm.
fund, because this is the amount that I want to reach.
Yeah.
Let me then
Yeah.
fund and
Yeah.
top up on this account. And then I sat with myself and got familiar with the amount and conditioned my mind to be familiar with this amount
Mm,
of money. Because now my mind is shocked at what is this
mm,
now? We
mm,
don't know this. We're not conditioned to do
mm,
this and all of that. So, and I was like, okay, let me now sit with this amount of money. And I continued to trade with the very same lot size that I was using. You don't jump from this lot size to a bigger lot size. Your mind doesn't know that, and
mm,
the losses are going to be big. The normal losses
mm,
that you usually see on your normal lot size, when they are on a bigger account, they look big. E.g.,
mm,
when you're
mm,
trading a
mm,
0.10, a
mm.
minus $10 is something that you can sit and be like,
Yes.
it's just 10 pips. When you're trading with a
Mm.
standard lot size, that's $100.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
if you
yes, yes.
don't know or you haven't been exposed, you just jump
Yo,
from
yo.
0.10 to a 1, and then you take a
Mm,
trade and then
mm,
it gets
mm.
to minus 100. I don't care how much your balance is. You're going to panic
Yeah,
because your mind
exactly. Yeah,
is not used to that.
yeah.
It's going to take time for you to be like, it's just 10 pips, the same
Yes,
10 pips
yes.
that you were looking at minus 10, or someone who's trading with a 0.01 who is just like, it's just $1, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So
True.
there
That
is
is,
also that learning to condition yourself for growth. As you grow,
mm,
you then condition yourself and get familiar. And obviously healing. I always say we are a traumatized generation. There was a time
yeah,
where I was
yeah.
speaking about the fact that our great grandparents were once slaves. You know,
Mm, mm, mm,
I'm writing a book which I don't know when I'm going to finish, but anyway, I'm writing that book. There's a
mm,
part there where I did a research that says
mm,
when someone has been traumatized, we
mm.
kind of inherit that DNA. So there's a
Yes.
study that says, I don't know which country is this, or what world war was this, where the families who had fathers that went to the World War Tonton. They were exposed to that trauma of dying early and end. It was then at a later stage, their generation, they then ended up getting ill and dying early and all of that and all of that. But the people that were before that, that didn't happen. And the people that have children that didn't go to that war, I can't just remember this study, they also didn't experience that. But it was proof that says we inherit a DNA. A traumatic DNA, we inherit that. So we must also know then that our parents, there were times where they were robbed of their wealth, and there's that traumatic experience. So we might find ourselves getting robbed of our wealth, sometimes even by ourselves, because in our DNA, there's that thing that needs healing. So you need to do healing work, healing your DNA, healing your mindset, healing your energy. Healing work is very important. And I always say we complicate healing. Healing is a matter of sitting and acknowledging the wound and taking steps towards healing that wound. And when you see the things that are a result of this wound happen, that's where you then don't make rash decisions. You take a pause, you wait it out, you see how else can I work this thing out, So it's part of the healing process. You meditate, you journal. Journaling is one of the most powerful tools of healing. You release those things, So yeah, healing work is very important. There was a year I did the 8-week healing work with you guys in the forex space, where I was like, let's do this healing because we can be very much traumatized because of this work. So again, that's the joy of being exposed to the markets and also have this passion of financial wellness. When I combine these two, for me, I feel like I'm able to assist even on a broader aspect of life in terms of looking at your behavior. Because even with when we are doing the review sessions, at some point, if I'm going to tell you, do this, Gatatu, then on the fourth time, I'll be like, okay, I need to intervene now as a financial wellness coach, not as a forex coach, as a financial wellness coach who has a better and a deeper understanding of money traumas and money mindset.
Money mindset, yes, that one, coach. But to touch base on it, the powers of the subconscious mind is the one that is troubling us, coach. And I know that they say we should do the affirmations. Sometimes you do them until you get like, I know, I did them.
It starts with what, Bongani, it starts with the belief system. It doesn't matter what I tell you to do. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to work out. If I tell you to do affirmation and you're like, let's try this affirmation, your mind just knows we're just doing this, so it's not going to work out. Again, affirming on a wounded space, as a wounded person, affirming there, that's dangerous. That is very dangerous, because affirmation says I am wealthy, and the mind goes like, no, you are not.
Exactly.
I am rich, and the mind is like, no, you are not. So we need to first do the healing work, then affirm. And when we do the affirmation, we must believe that we are. If I say I'm worthy and I don't believe I'm worthy, it doesn't matter how much I say it. I must
Yeah.
believe in it, then say it. I don't know if you get what I'm
Mm.
saying.
It's true.
So
It's true what you're saying.
when we deal with the money mindset, or just about any mindset for that matter,
Mm.
even this cholo mindset, if
Mm.
you believe
Mm.
if you don't believe Wuti, you deserve to be loved,
Mm. Mm.
who's going to love you when even when I yourself don't believe Wuti, you deserve to be loved, or
Yes.
you don't
Yeah.
love yourself
Yeah.
enough, or you haven't healed
Mm.
from your past traumas in the previous relationships, so you go to a new
Mm.
relationship with the wounds that are like, hey, this thing has caused me so much pain. Because what happens is, if
Mm.
the lack of money or the presence of money has caused so much pain in your life, your mind is going to protect you and be like, when you are trying to make
Mm.
so much money, and be like, remember, this thing has hurt us, and then you're going to sabotage us, because
Yeah.
it's said we are on autopilot. Whatever that is
Mm.
happening in our lives is a
Mm.
result of the subconscious programming. So unless we
Mm.
reprogram our subconscious mind,
Mm.
then things are going to change. So you do that, get through meditation, healing. There's different types of meditations. There's meditation to heal,
Mm.
there's a meditation to affirm, and there's meditation to calm,
Mm.
you know so you
Mm.
can't be on a day, or on during the phase where you need to heal and
Mm.
be affirming, and yet you haven't healed, you
Mm.
know and there is also
Mm.
after organic during the healing process, there's a turmoil within you. You also then need
Mm.
to, I personally, mix the healing meditation with the calming meditation, because when
Mm.
I am in the healing process, or doing healing work, sometimes what happens is I would have such headaches, and give which is something is just not right in my head. I don't know how to explain it. I can
Mm.
just
Mm.
feel which is something is not right in my head.
Mm.
Then I would then
Mm.
add the calming meditation, to
Mm.
calm down the storm lesesenzekayo. Angithi ngokuwami
Mm.
ngivusa amanxeba
Mm.
amadala and
Yes,
ngiwemba in the
yes,
subconscious
yes,
space.
yes,
So now when they get
yes.
to the conscious space, and it gets confusing, anger and all of that. So you need to then
Yeah.
add the calming meditation, just to calm yourself and allow yourself to heal, allow to go through the process, and to go through the emotions, and just about anything that is surfacing, and then
Mm. Mm.
you're going to come out right.
Siyabonga coach. Meditation of affirming is more of calming your mind first, and then you affirm whatever that you want to affirm.
Yeah. Yes. And
Okay.
they say our minds are like sponges.
Mm. Mm.
When you are in a theta state, now you're getting me into the 21 days online course. When you are in a theta state,
Mm.
then your mind is like a sponge. It then absorbs.
Yes.
So you can't, during that storm that I'm talking about, your mind ihlangahlangene and be affirming,
Mm.
because your mind is not in a state to absorb what you are trying to reprogram with.
Mm. Mm.
So that is why between the ages of 0 to 7, a child is more
Yeah.
likely to like take on my habits and everything, because during that state they are in a sort of theta mind state.
Yes, yes, coach.
Mhm.
Yo, I coach, I'm finishing the 21 days. So since I advertise, but people must know about it anyway. It's a good cause. It's a good cause, coach. Yes, coach. I've learned coach, trading is about you versus you. It has nothing to do with the next person. And when I read it, this other book that I came across is they say best trading in the zone is Dr. Hande Wadban. But it's also
Mm.
talking about the beliefs that your trading account will reflect how you really feel about money. There's a certain
Yes.
money set point that you are used to it, and you can't break it until you feel that you are worthy, you deserve great things in life, and starting with healing also, that you should also heal. And I liked when he said, in your trading, you should bring the courage, you should bring warrior, you should bring compassion, you should bring impartiality, you should bring discipline. It's like yeah, this if and then he said to you to build a bigger account, you should bring all those things. I don't know, they call it archetype or something. There's a certain way that he was using there. And then he said, for you to build a six-figure account, you start with self-love. If really you don't love yourself, the chances are when you take a trade, you are going to be afraid to make a mistake, or you're going to be afraid to take a loss. And you're going to be stuck, not to press that button, whether you buy or you sell. Because some of us, we used to freeze. I can see a buy, but I'll freeze and I'll take it when it moves a price far. Then that's why I say buy, and then I take a loss.
And you are late. And you are late.
I'm already late. Yeah, no, because I've learned the trading psychology is indeed 95%, and strategy is about 5%.
Yeah, I always say strategies, almost all strategies work. Like if a person comes to you and say they have a killer strategy, it's fine. They believe they have a killer strategy. We all have killer strategies, but killer strategies, they don't work on everyone because not everyone has the same kind of mindset. So trading is all about your mindset,
Yeah.
And if you can simplify your trading strategy as much as you can. This thing, you've got Bollinger Bands, you've got moving averages, you've got MACD, you've got yes, you can't even see properly on your trade. You can't see a candle. You can't, because I always say candles tell a story. If you are able to see that this candle is giving me this story, then you will know. Because it will tell you, if it's rejection, it will tell you that we are rejecting here, and it will make sense. If it's in a pause area, it will tell you we are in a pause area now. If like the candles will move. Okay, you still here? If you are able to yeah, we lost you for a minute there. If you are able to read candles, I think you are able to trade and simplify it. Just keep it simple and keep your chart as clean as possible. Don't be drawing trend lines, amanya pegele, amanya jongele. Well, if it works for you, it's fine. But for me, it's really like for me, it's two lines, support, resistance. We break out here, we go there. We don't break out here. This is what we do. This is what we are consolidating in between here, or we are pausing here. For me, you'll find that either you're going to find a square or the lines, or if I need additional confluence, which I hardly do, I will have the moving averages.
I
can't even tell you how the RSI reads.
Hi, coach. Yeah, no, coach. I think Nami Mankala now, I will coach. My chart, yeah. We used to look, all the charts down there, all the moving average down there, and they only said, no, let's clear everything. It's like, okay, where are we going? I know, I've learned a lot, coach. I know.
Thank you. Thanks.
What will be your last words of wisdom before you leave us? Upon the trading overall.
Trading is a skill. And like any other skill, it needs you to learn. It needs you to polish it, and it needs you to keep yourself up to date. I like to make an example with builders, Abaki. A person who doesn't keep themselves relevant with what is in terms of buildings now, they're not going to be hired. Why would I take someone who was building good houses, but for my grandmother, for example? I want someone who's current. So even if you have a skill, if you don't polish and update it and keep it relevant, it's going to be redundant. So same as trading. If you're going to learn and just think that 5-6 years down the line you're going to come back and open charts and execute, the markets are changing. The things that were moving the markets then is no longer very much relevant now. The volume, even during the year, the volume sometimes comes during the pre-London, and then boom, suddenly the volume is during the London session. Then suddenly it's quiet. The volume has moved to the pre-New York. So you need to keep yourself up to date. It is a beautiful skill to have, and it can take you far if you work on it on daily basis or as much as you can. Secondly, we have AMA 2000 who don't want to do anything but trade. I don't encourage that, because it can be very stressful before you find your breakthrough or your break even. Even if you find your break even, it can be very challenging. So if it's going to be your only source of income, it can be very, very, very challenging, and it can be very frustrating. You'll find yourself over trading because you want it to solve your now solutions. Number three, the what I've just spoken about. Trading is not a solution for your now solution, or for your now problems. It is a solution for your longer term process. If you want to stay in it, you've got to have an ahead plan, 3, 4, 5 years. If you start and you are starting small, because we coming from a disadvantaged background where we don't have parents that are going to give us $10,000s to start trading. You're not going to get there overnight. You need to work and have a plan on how are you going to get there at some point, because the bigger the account you trade, the easier it gets, because even if you take 10 pips with a 0 point, with a 1 lot size or with a 2 lot size, that goes a long way. But for someone who is trading a 0.01, which is the person who's at $100, that's like a 10 pip move. It's only $1, and sometimes you don't even see the worth of closing that dollar. But when you are trading with a 2 and you have a 10 pip move, that's $200. Now, why wouldn't you close that? So work on trying to, at some point, increasing your account to a point that you can bank 5 pips and be okay with that. Don't try to make miracles. There aren't any miracles in the forex industry, and there is no get rich quick way. There's a lot of money. There's trillions of dollars circulating on daily basis, but you need to be aligned, in alignment, and understand what is it that you are doing, and learn and keep yourself relevant, keep the information relevant to you. Know what is the CPI, know what it does, know what is the bank rates, know what it does to the market, how it affects the market. I hear in 2024 Trump is thinking of running for presidency again. Just know how he behaves, what his tweets are doing, and all of those things. Those are the things that you need to keep yourself updated from. Gone are the times where we were like, NFP is higher than expected, the dollar is going to be strong. Sometimes the NFP comes higher and then the dollar sells like it's nobody's business. So if you don't keep yourself up to date and understanding, Wuti, it's actually not about the NFP, it's actually about the wages, or it's actually about the CPI, or we need to keep yourself very much relevant. Other than that, more than anything, enjoy it. Enjoy the learning process. It's something beautiful. I always say that it's something like really beautiful for me, looking at those charts, trying to understand them, trying to read and understand, analyze each and every candle, seeing Guguti. You know, sometimes you even learn better when there is no trade. I've just recently identified a candle pattern that says I'm changing direction, and I've been observing it for the past 2 months, and I'm starting to feel very comfortable to be like, okay, when the candles are doing this, I know for sure this is what is going to happen, because I have noted it down and written which the candle, this is what happened, this is then what happened after that. So you learn all those things. You don't just wake up and be like, become an expert. No, I don't even think there is an expert in trading, because market change they change every day.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
other
true,
than that,
coach.
yeah, I can't even
No.
remember which one is wise, but yeah, anyway.
Hayi, wisdom yonke coach. Cover yonke into. I know coach siyabonga coach. I think coach since ngicala ukutrader nawe, I've learned ukuthi ngo-2021 amatshas in 2022 they are different. Nasdaq is no longer that Nasdaq that I know. Now is
The
going
one that
down,
you
down,
used to
up, up,
trade.
down, down, up, down, down. Aye, Zabuya. Zabuya. No coach is
Yeah.
true. I think another thing, trading the passion nami engiyitholile ukuthi asi something also a crema. It changes. It comes with
Yes.
different shapes and forms.
Mm.
And that's how it makes me excited that, wow, it's moving like
Yes.
this. I'm going to learn something new.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
No, coach. Someone, coach, I think I'm getting patient for this question anyway. Coach,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mogani. Have a great
I know,
night.
you know what? First time I'm told like something that I'm passionate like this is like, wow, it's a different experience for me.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mogani.
Yeah, coach. It's cool,
Okay.
coach.
Okay then.
Oh,
Thanks. Good night.
but before we leave us, coach, where can people find you actually, coach?
Oh, I'm on Facebook as Upeli Samafunda. That's where I'm at. And you can, I share my posters there. If you want to sign up with me for Forex, you can just contact me. Check my Facebook page. I am going to be running a special registration for January. My cost is 6,500 rand. I might as well share the special now. My cost is 6,500 rand. But if you want to register, I'm no longer going to be taking new clients now, because end of November, I'm taking a break for December. But if you register for January, I'm going to be charging 5,000 rand from the 1st of December to the 15th of December for the January registration. We're going to start training on the second week of January. And I think I'm getting more excited as I'm adding this content that I've started to test with you guys. Because what I always say, I'm happy when someone comes to me, they pay me their money to train them, and then in the long run they get back their money through the support that I've given them. I wouldn't want to be taking, and then at some point you feel like you wasted your money by paying me. That's one of the things that I always pray for, that if a person comes to me, they must never at some point feel like they wasted their money on me, you know. So I feel with this kind of work that I'm currently introducing to you, because I'm going to be also including including live classes where we'll have Q&A sessions, where we'll have trade ideas. A person asks, can we analyze this pair? Because I love GBP USD, but if you don't like GBP USD, you should be in a position where you say, hi coach, can you please check this trade for me, or this pair for me, and analyze it for me? And then I give them the options, because I am privileged or blessed enough to be able to look at the charts and say, oh, this is what I see. And if this doesn't play out, because sometimes it's the simple thing, like if this doesn't play out, this is where I would place my stop loss. Someone, they don't know that. They thinking, this is how it's going to play out. So I have that. I'm looking forward to providing that kind of support again next year, in a way I'll be like, we're having a live class, give me the pairs that you'd like me to analyze with, and then a person obviously goes with what they believe in.
I know siyabonga coach. Nibe ne-great evening sibongela nasekhaya. But isibongo sakho siyangichaza umafunda. Hayi, ngiyafunda impela. I love this saying. I know. I want more PhD.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Bye.
We can't even see the questions. Do you see the questions on Facebook?
And I don't see the questions, coach. I don't know whether I'm in the right.
Okay.
I'm in the right. But yeah, trial and error, we are learning. But I know.
Yeah.
Comments now up. Yeah.
We'll answer on the comments. Thank you.
Yes, and we're gonna do another one. Don't worry, coach. I'll invite you over, coach.
All right, then. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.
For watching the show. We'll talk about how to make money with Forex trading. I hope you've got understanding and the revelation about Forex and the things that you should avoid when it comes to becoming a profitable Forex trader. Thank you. I'll see you next time. My name is Bongani Zwane. I'd like to say shalom.